Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Reese, and I want to talk to you about what I'm reading. I am new to BookTube, and I thought I would introduce myself with a little newbie BookTube tag, answer some questions, and yeah, so a little introduction. You can get to know me a bit. I have questions on my phone right here, so if I'm looking down, that's because I'm reading the question or trying to make sure I'm answering it fully. I'm not going to be reading it, but anyways. Okay, so first question. Why did you start this channel? Well, that's a loaded question. I started this channel so I could think a little bit more critically about what I was reading in the hopes that that would help inform what I am writing. I am an aspiring author. I don't have a novel currently in the works, but I have a lot of ideas, and I wanted to spend time thinking more critically about all the things I'm reading to see how that could and impact what I'm writing, my own practice. I have a lot of feelings about the books I read too, and I just wanted to talk to somebody else about it, even if I'm talking into a bit of a void. Hopefully not, we'll see. So yes, first, to improve how I think about reading, how I write, and second, to connect with other readers, writers, anyone who is interested in books. And yeah, question 2. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to BookTube? Well, first, like I mentioned in the previous question, I'll be thinking about these books that I'm reading, talking about them a little bit through the lens of, how, what they're saying, what the author is doing, the story, the character develop, like all of these things, how that becomes inspiration for me as a writer. I'm curious how a writer develops their stories, where their ideas come from, all of that. So there may be a little bit of diving into the background of an author's process. I'm also interested in, I hope I continue to do more of this, but reading the full collection of an author, all of their published works, and, tracking how they evolve as a writer, what kind of themes they focus on, because that's really interesting to me, and I wonder, maybe it's interesting to somebody else out there too. What else did I want to say here? I watch a lot of movies as well, a little bit of TV, but a lot of movies, and so I'll probably be talking a little bit about that here and there, especially as it connects to whatever I'm reading. So watch out for that maybe. I'm also a graphic designer, and so maybe I'll talk about book covers. We will see. Number 3. What are you most excited about for this new channel? Ooh, well, I'm excited about connecting with other people, talking about books, talking about writing, connecting with maybe other authors as well, or aspiring authors, and just discovering new things to read too. I am a big fan of BookTube because I get so many good recommendations from people. Once I find somebody who has similar taste to me, who reads similar things, I kind of poke around and see what else they've read in the past, what is on their TBR, because I know that it might be something that I would like to read too. Question 4. Yes, we are on 4. Question 4. Why do you love reading? So many reasons. So many reasons. It's really relaxing to me. It's when people ask what my hobbies are, I say reading, and I used to be a little shy about saying that, or because I felt like it was a stock answer, but honestly, it is the truth. I love reading. I've always loved reading. It's relaxing, like I said. It's immersive. I really, I get a chance to connect with people through characters, spaces, locations, times, things I would never be able to see, people I would never know in real life. It's like learning without having to be so regimented. It's learning through the experience of a story. I also, I mean, talk about story. I just like to be entertained sometimes. Nothing is better to me than getting wrapped up in a story, especially something you weren't expecting. You go from reading the first line of a story of a book, and then, a couple hours later, over the course of however many days, you're just sucked into this world. And I like talking about it. I don't have a lot of people that like listening to it. Shout out to my husband who always listens to me talk about books, but I thought maybe I should talk to some other people about it. Okay, number 5. What book or series got you into reading? Okay, I thought about this question, and the answer I came up with is the Goosebumps series by R.L. Stine. I read those books as a kid. They were, I think I have one somewhere in one of these bookshelves. They just really sucked me in. They were spooky, creepy. I believe they were written in the early 90s, mid 90s. Don't quote me on that. I should probably look that up. And they were just really great, really entertaining, accessible, spooky for a kid who wasn't really into horror at the time. You know, a Scholastic Book Fair, a Goosebumps book. What more could you want? Okay, question 6. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? I'd probably ask, do you want to start a buddy read with me? Yeah. Question 7. What challenges will be the hardest to overcome around starting a BookTube channel? I think consistency is one. Yeah, will I be able to be consistent with the amount of work that may go into this channel? And 2, this is probably the biggest challenge I anticipate, but hope doesn't happen, is that reading might become, a chore, a task, a thing I have to do for the channel instead of a thing I want to do to relax, to learn, to grow as a reader and a writer. Fingers crossed that doesn't happen. And now, question 8. When did you start reading? I don't know how old I was. I have an older sister, and so I probably started, as soon as I could because I just wanted to do whatever she was doing. I think I started reading pretty young, to be honest. My elementary school library was, one of my favorite places ever. I would just sit on the floor. I still remember the carpet. feeling, the smell of all the books. I would stay there forever. That was my favorite part of any school day. Yeah, I just shout out to my elementary school librarian who created such an amazing space for me and for my fellow friends and readers there. Really inspired this passion in me for reading. Question 9. Oh, we're almost at the end here. Where do you read? Where do I read? I read mostly at home. Not here. This is my kind of office space. But I read in our living room on the couch. I have a special way that I like to sit in on the couch, which is basically like taking up the full couch, but it's like my little cozy nook. I also read before I go to sleep. I read in bed. I do love a good coffee shop book date solo. I'm really trying to do more of that, trying to build that into my schedule. The noise, it's just really comforting to find a little cozy spot, sensing a theme here, where I can go and read and drink a nice decaf something, decaf for me. Yeah, that experience is great. Final question, question 10. What kind of books do you like to read? Mostly literary fiction. I'm not too into a lot of genre reading. Maybe a little science fiction, especially if it's, from older authors, or older books, I should say. I try to get in on the fantasy anytime, but I don't know. I think I like a book where that, science fiction, a little like speculative fiction, kind of Venn diagramming over literary fiction, if that's a thing, if that's a genre of itself. And that wraps up this series of questions and this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave me a comment. I will catch you in the next video. Bye.